Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland. Here I am at Little Venice in London. It has nothing to do with Italy. That's not why it's called Little Venice. It's called that because of the canal behind me. That's the Grand Union Canal from the 1780s. So the 18th century was the time of the transport revolution, of turnpike trusts, building roads, purchasing existing roads and upgrading them, having their toll booths and booms across the road, charging people to use them. And then people building canals like the Duke of Bridgewater and like Wedgwood and so on. So people transporting heavy goods, particularly fragile goods across the country, didn't want them going on bockety roads. These bone-shattering rides would smash things. So people moved things by canal, and it would just require one horse on the towpath to pull a very heavy load, because of course the water was taking the weight, and a series of locks was built so boats could go from one level of water to the other. It reduced flooding, all sorts of things. And these are the canals. And it wasn't dangerous. Even if you did fall in, it's not like falling into a river or the sea. You'd only be a metre or two deep in water. So you wouldn't go to drown, and you could collect your goods if they happened to fall in. All sorts of things. Occasionally though, the canals froze solid. Winters were more severe in those days, therefore it was more difficult to get supplies in and out. So it's called Little Venice because there's a bit of a marina back there. Perhaps you can see, it's difficult from this angle with the weeping willow trees, how many boats are moored there permanently. People have to pay for moorage. They're houseboats. I could just stand up properly in the middle of them. So they are not tall, they're very narrow, so two can go abreast when canals are quite narrow like that, easily. And they're not wide either, that's why. So that is Little Venice, worth taking a look at. And indeed, you can pay to go on a cruise on one of these canal boats up and down the Thames, walk the canal path. There's a big tunnel you can't go through, unfortunately. It goes around the northern edge of Regent's Park. It bisects London Zoo, goes on to Camden Town. And then some of these feed into the Thames. There are a few more of them. There's the Duke of Northumberland's River. There's the Regent's Canal, and so on. So in the late 20th century, these were disused, and people just dumped rubbish into them. They were dead rivers. I know they're canals, as in there was so much pollution, there were no plant life or fish in them. But then from the 1970s on, people began to revive them, repair them. Some vital renovation was done. The whole place was cleaned up. There was less pollution, and people began to potter around these canals again and start living on these canal boats. It cost about £60,000. But of course, you've got to be able to get rid of your waste and get electricity on. They require a bit of maintenance. Anyway, that is Little Venice.